Hello and welcome to Watch Our Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the wonderful and hilarious Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Well, hello, Ben. How are you, you little tiger?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just want to check in. Have you paid your rent this month? Because if not, Gina's going to have a real issue with you.
Oh, my God. Listen, you don't want another pour coming for you. I mean, Gina pour shaming somebody is fucking hilarious. What, is a pinata going to come mock me for being too full of candy? Fuck out of here, Gina. Shut the fuck up.
So we are talking Orange County today. Real quickly, if you're watching Love Island USA, the season is reaching its climax this Sunday. It's the finale, and we've been recapping it over on Patreon. We've been doing these quote-unquote mini recaps, about like 20 to 30 minutes. And if you want to hear the fresh takes, go check it out on Patreon. But we will stitch together a bunch of the ones that have not been on this here feed, and we will put them up next week. But you'll probably want to hear the fresh takes from the finale and from last night's episode. So go check that out on Patreon, patreon.com/watchourcrappens. And if you forget what our Patreon link is, just go to our website, because our website's even easier to remember. That's just watchourcrappens.com. And not only do you have links to Patreon from there, but you also have access to our back catalogs. Technically, everyone has access to our back catalogs no matter where you are, but they are sprawling and huge. And if you go to our website, we have organized some of our back catalogs. So that way, if you just want to hear some vintage Orange County, Real Housewives of Orange County recaps, you can go listen season by season, or New York, Below Deck Med, New Jersey, and we're going to get other sort of series organized and backlogged in that way, or not backlogged, back cataloged in that way, and we'll announce them as they come live. But go to watchcrappens.com to go listen to your favorite episodes. That's it.
So yesterday I start watching Orange County, and it's a scene where like Heather's packing, you know, because her new house is so stressful. And then Shannon and Tamara both call her separately saying, I'm on my way to meet Tamara. I'm on my way to meet Shannon. And Heather's like, oh, my God, I hope they can work it out. And then they go to have this lunch. And Tamara's like, you're a batch. You never support me. And Shannon's like, I don't think you understand how hurtful you can be, Tamara. And I went through, I swear to you, half an hour of this episode. And I got to the part where Gina's like, I'm having a party. It's a pink party. But then she's too sick to have it, so Emily does it for her. And I'm like, Gina is refusing to throw another one of her lame parties and making... I was like, this is just like last season. Nothing changes. It was last season. They were showing episode 2 of last season, which my thing recorded. And I watched half of it, not even realizing it was last season. So, well done, show. I've been hoodwinked.
Yeah, very nice. Well, I mean, so many things do stay the same. I mean, Orange County really is a series where there are just different kind of building blocks that they scramble. Like they build a Jenga tower out of the same building blocks. So this year, the building block is Shannon and Tamara are not friends. And Shannon and Heather are now working on their friendship. And Gina is mad at someone that she was close with last season. You know, like these are the building blocks. We have a new tower. The blocks are in a different arrangement, and it's all going to fall down by the end of the season.
Yeah, well, one thing remains solid. Gina's wardrobe. Wow. Are there
solid
rayon
as
trees?
A frock.
Like, are there rayon trees just growing in her backyard or what? I mean, I've never seen so many bad clothes on one person. It's like it's like a fashion show from Real Housewives of New Jersey on this episode. She's wearing, in her confessional, she's wearing a tinfoil tube top and then like a spandex mini skirt thing. And then in another, she looks like a to-go hot dog. I mean, I don't even know, like a hot dog wrapped up to go. I don't even know what you would call that.
As opposed to a sit-in order at the table, eat at the table hot dog.
Yeah, like eat half the hot dog. I'm like, can I take it to go? And they give you some foil and you just kind of wrap it up and like, you know, put it under your tube top and go home. I mean, what the hell is she doing? And, you know, the other day we were on Jeff Lewis, which, by the way, thanks for having us. Always love talking to those guys. But totally. We were on there and we were talking about OC. And you were talking about Gina just being an asshole. You know, we're talking about Gina being a bomb in general. And I actually felt kind of guilty because, you know, whenever we go on Jeff Lewis, that's like it feels like it's a different thing because it's on the radio. And I don't know, I always feel meaner somehow. Like, because at least
you know they
in our
listen.
own house.
They really listen on that. When you go to Jeff,
there's a better chance of them listening for sure. And I was like, you know, we're mean. We're so mean. And Gina's not that bad. And like, it's not cool to be like, what has she even done, really? You know? Well, this episode really showed us that we were correct. Gina is such a monster. She is not a good person. That is not a good person. That is a mean girl.
I thought Gina was such an asshole this episode. Like, such an asshole. And, you know, it's like, and you know me, I like to see both sides. You know, I'm like Joni Mitchell. I see both sides now. And,
you know, Trump. And he's like, yeah, there's good people on both sides. Okay. That's what you get when you do that with Gina. You're supporting terrorism.
Thank you for comparing Gina to the Charlottesville incident. But this is no, but for real though, like I really like try to put my feet in her Payless shoes, and I say to myself, like,
don't do that. They're gonna sweat off your damn ankles.
I have all sorts of dye on my toes now. No, I mean, I was like, okay, if I like went out of my way and I got this girl into this house and then she's fucking up and now it's like giving me issues in my professional context. Yeah, I think I would definitely be annoyed. But I think though that if this were my friend, I don't know, like, it's like your friend's being evicted. I just think that's so much more cataclysmic for the friend than it is for you losing your contact. Like, what is stopping Gina from like calling up the contact and saying like, I'm so sorry, I vouched for this person, I'm mortified, how can I make it up to you, can I take you to dinner, like, this is awful. Like, I just feel like that's so much more easily smoothed over. Not like Jen is any saint. Like, Jen is like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, Jen does have to get her act together. But I think Gina, who has been through such hard times, who has Shannon apologizing to her midway through the episode, and Gina saying like, now you know what, like, now you understand what I'm going through, but yet refusing to empathize with Jen, who's going through something very similar to what Gina went through. I just think that Gina's a total asshole for it.
It's gross. And this whole thing of like, I vouched for you. What are you talking about? You were renting a house. It's a business transaction. That's like me saying, hey, Ross Dress for Less, here's Ben. And then you buy a shirt from there and then you act like a jackass a week later. Am I supposed to go apologize to Ross? No. They're a fucking store that they sell things. And it's the same with this renter. Gina didn't do any like huge favor. She was like, give me a fucking break with that.
I guarantee the reason,
Gina, you've been a realtor for 1 year. You've got 4 sales under your belt. Shut the fuck up. Like, she's coming for my career. Get out of here.
And also, she's acting like, oh, Jen is the reason why this realtor is not calling her back. I guarantee there's more to the story than that.
You have reputation. Why would she call you back? You're like at the bottom of the hill. And by the way, good for you for starting your own business and doing all of this. I'm not shaming the work. I'm just saying, like, her blaming somebody else for her not getting a call back is absolute bullshit. No, everybody knows that sometimes people go through things when their husband stops paying for the bill, especially in Orange County. It's like the capital of divorce. I don't think it's the first time that someone's ex has stopped paying the mortgage and they get evicted. I mean, it probably happens every goddamn day.
And on top of that, Gina at one point says, I got her into the house. We bypassed the credit check because we just used my words. I'm like, well, whose fault is that? You're going to blame Jen for your shoddy, rental agreement that you created? Like, you should be mad at yourself, and you have to know now you don't cut corners even for your best friends because it come back to burn you. That's your fault. You're just being a bad real estate agent at that point.
Well, I would like to add, so it's also the renter person's fault because they trust Gina vouching for somebody. That girl walks in like a walking Dollar Tree is what she looks like. Why are you vouching for her credit? Like, give me a fucking bro. Why are you letting Gina vouch for somebody's credit? That's bullshit. They obviously couldn't rent this house and we're asking for too much money. Listen, Team Jen is my point.
Team Jen, and we're probably
for 5 seconds the other day, and then I watched this episode and I was like, nope, we were right. This lady is a terrible human being. What a monster.
Yeah, I thought it was just so obnoxious. Like, I think, you know what? I'm going to put a pin in it because it's going to come up about 10 more times this episode. We should just start recapping. And I guarantee by the end of the episode, we're in that coffee shop, I will be all fired up. So, to be continued on what when I said, I think, who knows what I think, but I'll tell you this much. She's an asshole.
Said it yet. Yeah, she's an a-hole.
She's an asshole. But speaking of assholes, they're all assholes on the show. Let's not also forget that they all are assholes. And here we are back at this Balboa Beach Club, Pelican Bay, flotilla, ballroom, whatever this is. And all the assholes are gathered by the window watching Shannon and Alexis Bellino. And Alexis has just said her new famous line, "There's the door, Shannon Bador."
Yeah. And Shannon just looks into the camera like, wow, perfect. And also, I liked that they showed Shannon flicking her head like in a soap opera to look back, holding her drink, just flicking her head around. Just love it. So Heather goes to Alexis, which fucking Heather, of course she does. And Alexis is like, I'm trying to keep myself composed. Did you see me say, "There's the door, Shannon Bador"? It was really good. really.
And Alexis is doing this thing where she is like waving her hair back behind. She keeps on like sort of acting like she's just turned a very fast corner. She's like pivoting around. Her hair goes flying back and forth behind her. And she's like, oh, it's just a lot going on right now. I can't wait till I call Johnny and tell him what happened. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep myself composed. And it's like, what happened? And she literally wants to keep bringing up, only the lawsuit. And Tamara's like, lawsuit? I was above that lawsuit. Let's talk about it, huh? You want to talk shit about Shannon? Talk about Shannon, bitch.
She's trying.
I'm having a hard time, by the way, speaking over my teeth trays today. I've got my little sort of. Okay, I'll take them out. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to take myself off camera because no one wants to watch me take these out of my mouth. But I feel like my words are just getting lodged in my teeth today. So BRB.
Listen, it's hard enough to talk with gay tongue, which we have because we're gay people. Mine is way bigger than Ben. I don't actually think Ben has a gay tongue. I have a gay tongue. I can't imagine having something else in my mouth. I mean, there are things in my mouth all the time. But you know what? Like trays. I couldn't deal with that.
I like that I hit my limit. Like I've had these things in my mouth for like 7 months now, and it was like doing a Tamara impersonation. I need to have full clarity. I need to have no obstructions in my mouth for this.
It's not an easy one. So Alexis is like, I am like literally shaking, Mr. Baking. Hey, Alexis. And Katie is like, I just want to be away from that, pointing at them. And Tamara's like, listen to me. This is part of my thing too, bitch. And everyone's just ignoring her, which I know is making her crazy. So Heather's like, excuse me, I am just going to excuse myself because I love you. And I also want to hear what's going on. And this is my party and she's a guest and I feel weird. Okay, so I'm going to go check on her now as well.
So she goes off to check in, and then Katie across the room is like, I want to listen in, though. Secretly, I want to listen. So then Katie talks like she's in a commercial for like Dove chocolates. Like, sometimes when it's the afternoon, I just like to treat myself. Dove chocolates by Katie. I don't know if that's actually how a Dove chocolate commercial goes, but in my mind, that's how they go.
You know how she's talking, don't you? What you're describing is somebody who reports for golf. Here we are. We are watching Johnny J come up with his stick. He's going to hit a ball with that stick. We're going to see if it goes in. Is it going to go into the Alexis hole or the Shannon hole? Let's see. That was a birdie. That was a handicap mulligan right there. Thank you for watching.
I love golf. So,
my storyline. Guys, can we take a moment and just go over my personality? Okay, I don't know if you got my CV, but I am into golf. Okay, go ahead with your fight. Go ahead.
Shannon, are you okay?
Well, I'm sorry, but she started, she's in my eyes. She started the lawsuit. She started the lawsuit in my eyes, which, by the way, I think Pamela did a wonderful job with my makeup on my eyes today. I think we should all compliment Pamela. Pamela, will you come over here? Will you accept this award for greatest eye makeup doing in the history of Orange County? Well, thank you, Shannon. That's enough. Anyway, she started the lawsuit in my eyes. So, anyone with Bellino is not my biggest fan because I lost $300,000 to the Bellinos. Huh?
I've even driven up to Taco Bell and said, you listen here, Mr. Bellino. I want my $300,000.
I can't even go to brunch because when people order Bellinis, it is just too close to the word.
Change one vowel and I'm out $300,000.
So then back inside, Tamara's like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like it's got to be very difficult to see her, like that,
and Alexis is, because of the lawsuit, she's saying, like, Shannon's probably having, it was a lot of money, Alexis. And Alexis is like, but it's hard for both of us. Do you know how difficult it is for me to see his ex-girlfriend and be in the same room? You're on her show, ma'am. You literally walked into her house and shit on the floor. Alexis is a monster. Alexis is a goddamn monster. But goddamn it, she's a funny, stupid one. And I'm glad she's
funny. She's a funny, stupid monster. She's like when you see like those dumb dinosaurs sometimes on movies. She's one of those. So Timber's like,
just because Shannon and I are not in the best terms right now, I still care about her. I care about her enough that I can fool her into thinking that she can let me back in, and then I can destroy her all over again, bitch.
I can't wait to go check on Shannon so I can call her stupid, useless human being, make her cry.
So she is saying,
well, when Alexis finally came out and said she was dating John, I absolutely felt for Shannon. I felt it so hard. I'm such a good person.
And then it cuts to the text, and it's her proof is this text. It's like,
hi, Shannon. I know things are not great between us because you're stupid and selfish and mean, egotistical. Team David Bajor. But I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking about you. How stupid you are. With all these pictures of John and Alexis going on, and how hot they look, how much you're smiling, how hot John is now that you're gone. Well, anyway, hope you're doing better. Bye, bitch.
Hope you're able to read this text. Hope you're not too drunk.
So then Shannon replies,
I hope you enjoy your holiday season, bitch, because basically, you're the turkey. You're the turkey, bitch.
I see what you're doing right now. I see that you're trying to go right into that cooler and get some vodka out of your Jack Coke. I see it right now. Anyway, have a happy holiday season, bitch.
So Shannon replies with a very Shannon response.
Well, thank you for your text. Looking forward to spending the holidays with my girls. Merry Christmas.
But then we get the real story. Shannon goes,
actually, Tamara Judge not only liked the photo of Alexis and John, but she put the applause emojis as a comment.
It's 100% Tamara.
And I was like, I wrote her, I said, WTF, what are you doing? And her text back to me was, grow the fuck up.
Now, to be fair, I did not realize it was an applause emoji at first. I thought it was someone who had just caught a fly in their hands, and I was like, that's exactly what Alexis Bellino did. She caught a fly with her vagina. And then I realized it was actually just applause. So it took on a new meaning.
So stupid. And then we see another text pop up on the screen, and it says,
well, I'm not sure what is going on, but I can say without a doubt that you would never, ever see me posting applause emojis to a girl that has a PR rep saying that Alexis and John have a lot in common.
Tamara's response,
grow the fuck up, bitch. That had nothing to do with you or John. The next bleep fucking idea to call someone to talk shit about me, think again, you drunken wino, bitch.
So then Alexis comes over, Heather approaches Alexis, and she's like, well, I want, whatever. Alexis is like, I want this party to go good, because I know it's your party. And Heather's like, oh, it's going to. Do you know how many white, red things I have to do? Later, there are questions. There's questions. Just you wait. No one's going to ruin this party. Wait till you see what I'm feeding you.
And so now there's like a wishing wall where Emily and Katie and Jen are, and Emily's like, oh, Jen, I'm gonna wish a house for you. And Jen's like, well, a house, a car, a job. And she goes, and Katie's like, oh, are you moving like a slow golf ball that's just been putted? She goes, I am. Thank you so much for asking. Gina actually helped us get the last house, and basically the kids and I got evicted. Anyway, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm going to eviction.
And Katie's like, holy shit. I thought this was for rich people. There's two of you now? And so Jen's like, yeah, I was scared to death to sit the kids down and tell them, hey, here's option A, move in with Ryan, or here's option B. Falafel? Anyone?
Falafel.
Do you want falafel?
So then we see a scene of her telling the kids, like, so here are your two options, option A and option, there is no other option. And so they're like, well, sure, I guess so. She's like, I would do anything for my kids, except maybe get like a 9-to-5 job. And if moving in with Ryan was going to be a detriment to the kids, I'd live in the car But I'd be like, Ryan, can I have your car? Thanks, I'm going to live in it. But I'm grateful that the kids are on board in this decision-making of moving in with Ryan. Thank you so much, children. Thank you so much.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. So Katie's like, yeah, I get it. That sounds terrible. She's like, yeah, it's just been a long, horrible, horrible road. Just terrible. And, I hope I did the right thing. And Katie goes, you did do the right thing. I mean, it's a fresh new start. She goes, yeah, that's how I'm trying to look at it that way. Excuse me, that's my purse. I'm sorry, ma'am. You have not paid for this purse. Oh, well, okay. Well, thank you very much. Keep it safe for me. Love you. You purse.
Jen, why are you hoarding all those hors d'oeuvres? Oh, I'm going to try to sell them on eBay later. Thank you so much. So then we got to, so mean. This poor lady's being evicted. So then
anything for my children. She's shoving like tiny little tiny little
napkins.
bites. What are they called? When you have not the aperitif, the amuse bouche. Yeah.
Well, no, actually, jumping ahead, what cracked me up is that when they serve an amuse-bouche at this luncheon, and Heather goes, everyone, this is an amuse-bouche. It's like a gift from the chef. That is a fork. This is a knife. When you receive an amuse-bouche, now you get to understand what it's like to be Heather Dubrow at Nobu. Gifts everywhere.
This is from us to you. Rich to poor people. Thank you so much for coming here. So then we see Gina and Heather and Tamara talking, and Gina's like, every time I go out of my way to be nice to a person, I get bitten in the ears by it. Yeah, when are you ever nice to a person? That was the only nice thing we've ever seen for you do for anybody on this show, and it was a business transaction that you made money off of. You made a commission off that, so stop acting like fucking, you know what, I'm too mad, and this is just a TV show. But this lady is so mean to that lady who just got evicted that we totally roasted for the last 5 minutes. But anyway, still, she's just so mean. It's like, I need to remind myself right now just to calm down. It's not that deep. But geez.
Like if Gina were like a Lucille Bluth asshole, it would be hilarious because she's just punching down so flagrantly that it'd be just like, it'd be so awful that I would find it campy and wonderful. But she's just punching sideways. And I'm just like, I just don't have any respect for it. So,
yeah, she is. I do like that because it is punching sideways. Like she thinks she's being like a Heather, like punching down, or like making a comment about being poor. This is like the first time that there's been someone literally poorer than her on the show. And I guess she's like taking it out on that person. But girl, it's like acting la-di-da. You're in the same aisle of the Walmart as me. You know what I mean? Get the fuck over yourself.
She also, don't forget, Gina was like a monster to Jen at the start of last season when she's like, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to talk to her because she like left her family or something like that. It was something about like Jen cheated. Divorced. She cheated and this and that. And Gina was like really like overly invested in that. But at least she sort of had, she could say, well, you know what? I was cheated on. So it's very triggering. So at least she had that. But this is just like her being a full asshole. Like, and she's framing herself like she is so charitable. Like every time I go out my way to be a nice person. Last time I checked, it was Heather Dubrow who gave you her goodwill leftovers. And you just were like, fuck off. Like I feel like I see Gina on the receiving end of nice behavior and her deciding, always vilifying those people. I don't understand where she gets off saying that she's going out of her way to be a nice person.
And she's like, well, I just found out that she was a victim. And also she's like changing her accent every 5 minutes too, which is still making me crazy. She's like, I found out she was a victim because she put it on Instagram. And then we see a video of Jen packing on Instagram. And she's like, wow, moving really sucks. Oh, sorry I said that about you moving. I didn't mean it like that. I hope you don't take it personally. I like moving sometimes. Anyway, got to take care of business. And she's like, oh, wow, I can't believe. Tamara's like, wow,
she put it on Instagram that she was evicted?
No, she didn't. She put on Instagram that she was moving. And then Gina was like, why is she moving? And it became evicted,
Yeah, I mean, like, I can understand, being like, what the fuck? I helped her get it at that spot, and now she's moving? Like, that's weird. And, like, I can understand her being like, this is sort of fucked up. And I can imagine, like, a tenor of annoyance that's more like, hey, like, I know you're going through a hard time, but, like, I just want you to know it's kind of a bad look for me, and it made me feel like I felt like I was not considered in this situation when I put a lot of consideration for you, and it's rubbing me the wrong way. And I just had to tell you that. Like, that should be like as far as it gets. I think Gina's allowed to be annoyed, but the fact that she's framing herself as like, I went out of my way to be so good, and this is how I'm repaid, and this is taking money off my children's table. Like, just relax.
Holding it against somebody who just lost everything is just low down and dirty behavior. It's just disgusting fucking behavior, especially from somebody who's already been through that. You know what I mean? It's just gross. So they're still talking about that. And Gina's like, Heather's like, well, I thought Emily told me that she didn't even have a credit check because you vouched for her. And Gina goes, yeah, I'm real pissed about that. Well, so nobody should listen to Gina. Gina's not the arbiter of anyone's credit.
I don't. That was shitty work on everyone who did that deal. There should have been a credit check no matter what. And you're just mad at yourself because you were a shitty agent in that moment. So now she's saying, well, now this is starting to affect me professionally. I don't need other agents talking about the fact that I put someone in a home that didn't pay their bills. I'm like, I guarantee no one really knows about this, except now they do because you're broadcasting it on a national network.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, she keeps talking about her reputation, this and that. Who wants to work with an agent who's like, oh, yeah, I helped that person once, and now look at him. I can't believe I ever worked with that person. I mean, it's really unprofessional and gross. And are you allowed to even do that? Like, go tell somebody's personal business about their evictions, et cetera, et cetera?
I think it's shitty. And also,
like,
by the way,
patient privilege, like realty privilege.
Also,
I mean, what the hell?
You know what? The other thing is that, like, Gina, you're not the first real estate agent who has clients who then hit hard times and have to move or get evicted or foreclosed upon. You're acting like this is an affront to you and the entire real estate industry. Like, it happens. Shit happens. People lose their homes. Like, I just, like, her extreme lack of sympathy in this situation. I think it really comes down to the fact that Jen was basically being supported by her ex. And I think that, like, Gina has unresolved issues from last year about, like, Jen's relationship with her ex, the cheating, the fact that Jen was dependent on it. I think that, like, it's not about the eviction. It's about something deeper about Jen as a woman and how she moves with the men in her life.
Well, okay. Well, have fun with your married man at home. So, if that's the case. So, there's like a wishing well thing that they have to write wishes for people. And Shannon is like, wow, should I write to Alexis? Good luck in your relationship. Utz. Yes, I'm going to write the utz at the end of it. Utz. There, I said it. Oh, that is so snarky of me. I just did it. Anyway, get my picture. That was me being snarky. Unbothered Shannon.
So then Jen goes up to Alexis to see how she's doing, and Jen's like, so I understand how you want to protect John. I'm the same way with Ryan. Alexis is like, I mean, there's not wanting to protect him. I will. He broke up with her. Okay. Who are you, by the way?
Well, I am at the wishing table now, and I hear Alexis, and you know what, Alexis? That you can lower your voice a little bit, okay?
And she goes, oh, I mean, was I raising my voice out of control or what? And she goes, you were quite loud. Oh, I just got scolded. Like, what is she, my mom? She's old enough to be. She's older than me. She totally could be my mom. She's like so old.
Wow, Shannon, that really hurt me to my core, Shannon Bador. It's a good rhyme. You can really lean into it, I encourage everyone to do it.
You're really old, Shannon Badolds. She'll get it later. She'll sit with that one for a while.
So Alexis has something to say about this. She tells us, no, you will not shush me, lady. Okay, I will no longer be squelched. And then we see a flashback of her being squelched by Jim Bellino, who said that wives stay at home in that famous scene. So any storm that Bador wants to create, find a new tornado. Period. Okay. Well, I think, first of all, I appreciate the tie-in to Twisters in theaters now, but also it's like, hey, I know you, if you want to start a new storm, then find a new tornado. I'm not sure that makes any sense.
She's a Mad Libs of a human being. I don't even know how this person gets through life, but here she is, still not run over by something. So good for her.
If you're saying find a new tornado, that means that you're advocating for her to create storms.
You can't
You're advocating for new storms
There's
like
just
this.
too much. You can't
should
try to
say-
put logic in this.
If you want to create a new
ear's gonna start
storm,
bleeding.
guess what? A low pressure front is going to come through and blow it away. Anything,
Yeah.
really.
You better
Say
find a
anything.
new tornado if you want to start a storm, Shannon Bedorm. So Jen and Gina are talking. Jen's like,
Okay. Oh, hi. Yeah, I've been wanting to grab you. We should talk, right? Because I know we need to talk. Let's get together. Let's plan a lunch or something. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you rather have dinner? I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Lunch, dinner, snacks, whatever it is, you're paying, right? Just kidding.
Thanks in
okay.
advance.
So, yeah, let's talk.
and Gina's like, all right, okay, all right. This is not the time or place because I have a history of ruining Heather's parties. So I'm just going to sit here and be rude behind Heather's back about her stupid party.
Yeah.
Not today, Satan. I will not be fucking up Heather's party. Okay, not today.
So now they all go
She's just
to
mad she has someone to fight over leftovers with now.
yeah. There's only one doggy bag left. So it's like Thunderdome.
She's getting in the way of me feeding my children. Amuse bushes.
So Heather leads everyone to the table area, and everyone's like, ooh, ah, and there's like a money booth, but the money booth is filled with questions, because you step in and the questions go everywhere when you grab one, which is a very, very expensive way to, alternative to just having a hat, just pulling something out of a hat.
Yeah, it's definitely the rich asshole way of doing this.
Why do it the cheap way when you can spend $800 on a money booth?
Yeah, exactly. And so Alexis is like, please just tell me I'm far away from Catwoman. I mean, if you're going to be a cat, start a tornado at a dog. You know what I mean? I'm serious.
Hey, Shannon, how you enjoying that new tornado? Because she's eating a tomato, and I told her to get a new tornado.
Yeah, Alexis is trying super hard. Bless her heart. So Heather's like, okay, you're over there. Okay, everybody, this is an amuse bouche. Poor people. Do we understand? And Katie's like, oh, come sit with me, Gina. And Gina goes, I just don't understand why everything here is not bread. Which, listen, I don't love Gina right now, but she's got a point.
But also, did you just arrive to Orange County? That's just the way it goes here. So Heather's like, hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay, what you have here in front of you? I'm here. You have your gift from the chef. So congratulations. The chef gave you a gift. I didn't even prepare a toast. But luckily I do have this monologue that I auditioned with to get onto Malibu Country. Back when I was growing up in Chappaqua, New York, I said, I want to go to the dude ranch and learn how to ride the cows and lasso the horses. And so I did, but I wound up in Malibu. You're welcome. And am I hired yet? Thank you. That's the end of my scene.
What was that from?
That was my audition monologue for Malibu Country. Self-written. It was partially autobiographical and partially a recap of City Slickers.
Well, okay, so
In lieu of a toast, it was a monologue.
I'd rather have toast. I gotta be honest. Any kind of toast. Okay, wow. So Gina's like, wow, we're getting like a spoonful of food. It's so tiny. I guess I'm just gonna starve over here. Gina, it's an amuse-bouche, for fuck's sake. Moron.
Oh, it's not
God.
your entree.
Jesus. So let's just consider this a representation of how much you've contributed food-wise to this cast over the time that you've been on here. Jesus Christ, a little tiny pile of fingernails.
Even Dr. Jen did more than you. So Heather is like, okay, well, this is going to be a new year, fresh start kind of party. And Katie's like, 2024, we're on a diet, am I right? Anyone? Just a little golf humor in the corner here? No. Okay.
Guys, my stomach feels empty, but it might be because I've got a hole in one. Anybody get that? It was a golf joke. So if anybody needs me, I'll be over here.
Yeah. So anyway, Heather's like, over here is a question booth. You go in and you grab a question. Okay. And Jen's like, oh, well, I'll be first if there's money in there. I'm being evicted, everyone.
And Emily goes, yeah, she needs a new house. And Jen's like, yeah, how much money is in there? Which I like that Jen can like show up and make fun of herself, at least, you know. So Jen's like, come on, Dubrow. You of all people could have filled that thing up with money. And Emily's like, yeah, she should just stay in there the whole time. Maybe she can get some rent money or some payment money or something. Like, there's a lot of doubt out there.
And Heather tells us, I don't think the money booth is going to fix the rent situation. I was like, damn. You know, it was just a joke.
On this show. God. I know. Like, she's trying to make fun of herself and be self-deprecating. And they're like, nope, we're still going to trample her. We're still going to trample her.
I guarantee by the end of the season, we're going to see Jen dressed up in a French maid outfit, like cleaning the basement of the Dubrows. Like, that's the path that she's on.
So then Gina's still bitching about being hungry. And then we cut to Alexis dancing in the booth. And she's like, oh my God, guys, you are going to die at this question. What is your friendship goal for 2024, Shannon Bedore?
And she goes, I would have to say that my goal is for Shannon Bedore and I to kill all animosity that she unreasonably has and be able to move forward. And she was like,
Excuse me, I just nearly coughed on the entree that we just had.
that was the amuse-bouche.
Oh, well, that's good luck for me then. Oh, okay, well, that was wonderful. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you.
Oh, let me tell you whose douche is not amusing. There's one in front of me. That is for sure.
So Emily's like, well, what do you say about that, Shannon? She's like,
Well, I appreciate that. You whore. Thank you.
and Alexis is like, I literally do just want to be amicable in this group of women because I'm going to act like a Christian, okay? Because I am a Christian. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spread love.
Sure.
Super Christian-y. Super Christian-coded.
I know. Let me give you some textbooks about the Crusades. So Tamara is like, she's like,
Hey, you might have to stop banging her ex-boyfriend. Did you hear that, Shannon? She was like, oh, that was a very funny joke at my expense. Does anyone have any more amuse-bouches?
So then Shannon's like,
Well, I don't know that acting is Alexis's forte because you can't talk to me the way that you have so far in this event and then all of a sudden snap your finger and say you want to be my friend. It does not work like that. I will never be your friend until you decide to go against Tamara Judge, in which case I will be there laughing just like this.
Alexis Bolito, so funny. Best friends.
Until then, you're dead to me.
So then Tamara gets into this booth and really gives us a horrifying visual. She presses her hands and her face up against the glass and then starts licking it. Like, it's like, I feel like it's like a bat that like landed on a windshield as like, like
it's like going
maybe
to an
rabid,
aquarium, but for like bad gums.
And Gina goes, you just got the flu. So Tamara's question is,
What did the machine get? I'm more worried for the machine. I'm like, that's a rental. Other people are going to be standing in that.
I know. Somewhere, you know, like Morgan from Laguna Beach is going to be renting that for a party for her kids. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, Tamara, I was just trying to make some weird callback to the show Laguna Beach. It'd be nice if those at the universe of Real Housewives of Orange County and Laguna Beach came together someday. I'm just going to put that out there. That would be really a lovely.
Well, they always talk about Adrena coming on to be one of the housewives on the show, but it never happens.
Yeah. What about
on old Dead Eyes? I miss her.
What about Lauren, who dated Jason Waller in season 2 of Laguna Beach? Bring her on. She was always a disaster.
Well, Adrena was the Hills, to be fair, but same.
But still part of the universe.
Yeah.
I would accept it. I would accept all of the above.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so Tamara's like,
What would you like to have next of this year? How about this? How about this? Wait, everybody. Wait for it. It's a Tamara classic moment. You ready to meme gas? Okay? I would like lots of friends to talk shit behind my back. Whoa! Paper shots! Paper shots!
She throws the paper behind her.
patch.
She literally throws it behind her, and it's like, I feel like I heard like the King of Snarkasm music in the background.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So Emily's like, preach it, sister.
Emily, the chief shit talker behind people's backs.
Also, Tamara opens the whole season by being like,
Fuck Shannon Bedore, I hope she dies in the fire. I hate when people talk behind my back. Shannon's drunk, stupid, dirty drunk.
I saw her in the dressing room looking left and right, left and right, left and right. Then she found the vodka and she just inserted it into her mouth and drank it like a baby bottle. Bitch.
So, Shannon just goes,
Oh, well, she thinks I talked behind her back.
did you talk behind her back?
She's like, no, well, I don't know. Maybe I did. I just need her to fucking calm down. Just calm down.
So then Heather gets her own booth question. You know, Heather is like had her own question hidden under a Rolex.
It was
And she's
taped. It was like taped against the roof of the booth. She was like, "Oh, look at this one up here. What
First
is your
probably
favorite?"
just said like, "Who have you ever fucked anybody in a Chuck E. Cheese?" And she just read it as,
Okay, here's my question. What's your favorite piece of jewelry and why? Well, of course, my favorite piece of jewelry is something that wasn't always my favorite, but it's my original engagement ring. Cue the fountains. Cue. Play Andrea Bocelli, Botticelli, and then have the fountains.
La 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 la.
Terry gave it to me. He said, you're such a famous actress. Would you ever settle down with some lowly person like me? And I said, probably not. I'm here for my art. How much money do you have? I'm in. And the rest is history. For poor people, those are accounts that are written down so other poor people can learn in the future.
I hope everyone on Crappens on Demand appreciated my depiction of the Bellagio fountains in the
you
background
did it
of Heather's
very well.
monologue.
Very good. yeah.
That I requested Bocelli to sing for this, as he'll never get the pleasure of seeing the picture that I just had prepared of my original engagement ring. But he can touch it.
I know he can touch it because he lives in my basement. I've employed him. So actually, Andrea Bocelli does have a history of emerging from basements. Remember, Yolanda? Ladies and gentlemen, Andrea Bocelli opens the door at Wally's wine bar, and the tenors and Andrea Bocelli come out of the basement.
100%. I just read that Yolanda sold, or she didn't sell it because it wasn't her house anymore, but the house in Beverly Hills with David, their house just sold for $35 million. And my first thought was, I hope that they let Andrea out, bless his heart. Just comes like crawling out of there like, I'm here. I'm still here.
My first thought was, I bet they could have gotten another $1 million for it if that guy with selling the Little Mermaid towels had moved. The guy on the lawn.
You cannot sell that here. This is
He's
famous
selling
for that
Little
house.
Mermaid towels on my front lawn. Wait, did that actually happen, or was that just a joke that we created?
No, that was something
That was her
happened.
thing.
It was like a guy selling like tourist stuff, but she lived on the freeway. I mean, she lived on the PCH, so he was selling on the PCH. She's like, "This is my backyard." No, it's the PCH. Fucking weirdo.
I feel like going back to the Yolanda seasons of Beverly Hills, we would find so much joy that we just never even realized was there with her. Like, just so much great stuff. Anyway, so Heather does this whole thing about how her favorite piece of jewelry is her original engagement ring, which isn't even that fancy of an engagement ring. And then Alexis is like, well, the ring that
It's
Johnny
not
got
fancy.
me.
It's a huge oval-shaped diamond. Oh, okay. She's like, "Oh, it's just so little. It's so sad and pathetic." It comes on the screen. It's like, "Ow!" Everyone's going, "Ow!" Like blinding.
It was
to
an
me that was
amuse-bouche to
gorgeous.
the-
I mean, I don't know a lot about. What'd you say?
It was an amuse-bouche to the future rings.
That ring is bigger than anything I've been fed at this party.
You were saying about like how it was so huge though, regardless of her being like, oh, it's this humble little trinket. It was like still like a massive.
Yeah, it's like blinding. I mean, it's huge. I don't know anything about diamonds, but that looked like a big one. I don't know.
It looked big. So then Alexis is like, well, the ring that Johnny got me, it's not an engagement ring. It's just a sign of love. And then Chad's like, oh, well, I'm just going to stab this radicchio and put it in my mouth and taste the bitter flavor of this leaf, which parallels the bitterness I feel inside my stomach right now towards John Jansen.
Yeah, that's a sign of love for TV because he gave you that shit to go on Instagram and start shit so you'd get on this show. And it worked. That thirsty ass John Jansen. thirsty man. So Alexa, so they're like, so wait, so that's your promise ring? And she goes, no, it wasn't a promise ring. It was just, and Emily's like, okay, but you did hashtag promise ring though. So why would you hashtag that? I mean, I'm a lawyer, so speaking as a lawyer, like you probably shouldn't put hashtag something because like in a court of law, that would be considered an actual hashtag. So.
And Alexis goes, promised. Like never promise ring. It says promised. And I was like, but isn't that the same thing? If it has a D on the end, that makes it different, right? Promised. It could also mean promised in the eyes of the Lord.
Oh, God. And Katie's like, oh, my God, is she really religious? Yeah. Katie, you've never watched this show. Get out of here. Don't tell me that you didn't have hours to fucking binge Orange County in your golf trailer, your fucking Golf Channel trailer. Get the fuck out of here.
You know what my religion is? Golf. You just got Katie'd. So,
So, yeah, she's like, yeah, promise, like promise in the eyes of the Lord. And Gina's like, I don't even know if she's religious. Okay. Well, Gina, I believe, didn't do her homework, but Katie, I believe, did. So Katie's like, I mean, there's no difference between a promise ring and a promised ring. It's just a D, which I guess is what she's getting.
D stands for dick.
Hold on. Yep. It's 80% chance of windy laughter coming through those hills.
I can't help but feel like I just hit a hole in one with that joke. All right. D for dick. Think about it. Actually, you don't have to because I spelled it out for you. Anyway, continue on. So Gina's like,
Wow, that's a big gift for a 2-month walk. You guys think you're gonna, you think you're gonna marry him?
and Alexis is like nodding like,
Like after 2 months, you feel that way?
And Katie's like, wow, that's wild. I mean, I'm not marrying him tomorrow, guys. I'm just going to marry him at the time that makes Shannon feel most uncomfortable. When that day is, I'm not sure, but we'll know it when we see it.
This season is just brutal. Okay, you've got Gina coming after the lady who just got evicted, and then you've got everybody coming for Shannon who just got publicly humiliated on so many different levels. I mean, they are horrible. They are being fucking horrible. So Shannon gets up and is like,
Well, I will have to excuse myself for just a moment. Please, no one follow me. I will just be excusing myself for just a moment. Promised. Promised. That's something.
Yeah, and Alexis is, while Shannon walks off, Alexis is prattling on. Like Johnny and I, we both tried to push it back as far as we could, and we ended up in the same booth at the Quiet Woman. And that was one night, and there was just like definite chemistry. What can I say, guys? Promised. So Tamara gets up, and so Tamara
John
is
Jansen going to hang out at the Quiet Woman, the famous hangout of the TV show that he still wants to be on because he hates being famous so bad, and immediately comes on to another Real Housewife.
immediately.
So
right.
gross. God.
So Tamara gets up because she's going to cosplay like she's still Shannon's best friend. And so she follows Shannon out to the hallway and she's like, hi.
She's like, are you okay? She's like, yes, I mean, it's fine. It hurts, but thanks for asking the question, though. I don't know what you're trying to do, and I know you think I'm talking behind your back, Tamara. And Tamara's like, you are talking behind my back, bitch.
Oh, you're saying that I'm a horrible friend, that I've got a giant ego, that my ego needs to be shut down, I think I'm better than everybody.
Okay, well, stop me at the part where she's gotten anything wrong.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I did say that when we were doing the Trace Amigas tour, we always have to do it around Tamara's schedules because you've got so much going on. You're a very successful lady with a podcast that's has a wordplay about pea pods, and you're walking around and you're going, thank me for the show. Thank me for the show.
I never said that, Shannon. When did I say that? I said you're lucky for me or you wouldn't have a show.
And which she did. I mean, she didn't say that, but she did. And
Yeah.
so Shannon's like,
Well, should we just sit down? I'm not going to sit here and talk with you in the hallway. She goes, No, actually, I don't want to sit down. You're not a good person, Shannon Bedore. You've done horrible things to me.
I love that the base, like Tamara comes into the season saying, you know what? Shannon says she stopped drinking, but I saw that she's still drinking. And she's like, you've done terrible things to me. You've done terrible. Which one is it?
this is Tamara. This is how Tamara rolls. I mean, it used to infuriate me, and now I just laugh because it's just so obvious what she's doing. She's the worst.
She's like,
she comes in like,
Shannon Bedore's such a stupid slut. She probably had sex with everybody and she's an alcoholic. Even the kids don't like her. Nobody likes Shannon Bedore. What a dumb slut. How could you talk behind my back? That bitch.
Also, for some reason, I was really amused when Shannon goes, I'm not going to do this here in the hallway. Like,
She's above
this
doing
is not,
If we're going
this
to
is not
do
the
this, we're
backdrop.
going to do this standing in front of a question wishing well machine.
A hallway. I mean, why would we ever have an iconic scene here in a hallway? We have to have either an ocean, or we can go to John Jansen's house. I love his seafront property. Oh, damn it! I fall into old patterns so quickly.
So Shannon goes to talk to her makeup lady, and she's like,
Well, can you believe that Tamara just said to me that multiple people...
Pam's like, oh God, talk about kicking someone while they're down. By the way, let's do your lipstick. Just stay still. I was like, yeah, finally, Shannon has a friend that she needs. Someone just to be paid minimum wage and do her lip gloss while she complains about things,
Everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to my event here at the Country Club. This has been really great, and I've been informed by the staff that at 4 p.m., people who are below a certain tax bracket are no longer allowed to be on the premises. So unfortunately, you will all have to leave. I shall stay, though. Goodbye.
So everyone is going to need basically what Gina came shoving her purse with to go. Okay, let's go. So congratulations, Heather. Yet another completely soulless party at
I know.
by Heather DeVroe. I've never seen someone this consistently throw soulless parties, but God, she does it every time. Good for you.
She really does. Like, there's something about, I think we've all been to them. There's certain luncheons that you've gone to in life where you can't describe the depths of its soullessness, but like you sit there and that afternoon light is sort of like penetrating, and you sit there and you're bored and you're kind of like falling asleep, but you can't fall asleep because it's a luncheon and you have to make small talk with people and there's poached salmon on the plate. It's just kind of like the worst. It's like the worst kind of luncheon. And I feel like that's what Heather throws over and over again.
Yeah, she really loves just a basic ass boring brunch,
Like arugula.
I mean, it's a thing.
Salmon.
I used to be a cater waiter, and it's a thing. People compete to see who can have the most basic, and she does great. So good for her. So then, Gina's new listing. Gina is walking.
She's great. She's great at her soulless luncheons. It's her thing. She's great. Good for her. I love how you just sort of like somehow like spun it into a compliment, but it was like nothing even close to a compliment. It was great.
I mean, there are people like that. I don't really understand them, but they're there, and she's one of them. So you just keep on doing whatever that is. Okay, so Gina's new listing, she's like high-fiving herself, like, I am going to sell this house. And she tells us, I think I really found my lane. And I've realized that one of the major things that you need to know about real estate is the price of the homes.
That is, you know what? That is something you should know when you're in real estate, how much things cost.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
glad
joking
she finally...
because in her season, like, she didn't know the price of the house. So she's like, isn't that hilarious? I'm like,
oh,
yeah, I'm glad that someone else ruined your reputation of being a brilliant real estate agent when that was your big scene last year that you led with.
Yeah, you know what? I'm new to real estate and I'm like trying to build up like my book of business, and like this is like the livelihood of like myself and my children, and like this is the roof over my head right now. And then we after this really fascinating scene, we then cut to Shannon, Katie, and Jen doing a stair workout, and they're just going up and down, and Katie's like, my idea of exercise, my husband, late night activities. Watching the Golf Channel, really. We're just, lifting up that remote.
Okay.
Get so many reps.
She's like, I can't be the only woman in Orange County who doesn't work out. Let's wait. Let's wait for this. If I could drive my car to the mailbox, I would.
And by car, I mean golf cart. Let's be honest. So
Shannon's like, ladies, it's funny because I used to do the steps with John Jansen, and he'd go, I'm going to sit this one out. He would just sit on a bench, and I would go up and down the stairs, making a nice buttocks for his pleasure that apparently he never wanted in the first place, because I'm not Alexis Bellino. Well, oh, God. So many fun memories on this staircase.
And then Jen's like, oh, Is that John Jansen? Wow, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know him. I've seen pictures of him lately. God, he looks amazing. Doesn't he just look like he's turning back time, everybody? God, what a good looking. Do you still have his number? You should text him and say, my gorgeous friend thinks you are so handsome now that you broke up with my gorgeous friend.
Oh, well, yes. Thank you, Jen, for that unsolicited endorsement of his good looks. Yes, he has, first of all, he didn't smile with me because he didn't like his teeth at the time, but he got his teeth done. And now he smiles big because he likes to show off his big fake teeth, sort of like a wolf, like a big bad wolf.
How Shannon is that?
Well, if anybody's wondering why he never smiled with me, it was because he was insecure about his teeth. So he flirted with Vicky one night at the Quiet Woman, and she bought him a new rack. And now suddenly he's smiling all over the place. So good for John. It's so good to see John smiling. Oh, well, is that John going up the stairs? Just so he could pass me by. Well, there he goes again. He's doing great. So happy for John. So happy.
You may ask why I didn't smile as much with John, and that was purely because I was self-conscious of how my simmering resentment looked on my teeth. So that was my issue, my issue with John.
So, well, that's enough talking about me. Let's talking about you. Do you play golf, Katie? Is that something that you do? I'm so interested. I'm going to purse my lips into an open blow position and wait for you to answer.
I can't tell you how excited I am to talk about your interest in golf versus more complaints I have about John Jansen. So you have the floor, or should I say the green? Golf. Top of the morning to you. Green, Ireland. I'm spiraling.
Please, let's not talk about me anymore. So, golf spelled backwards is flog, which is basically what I was every day in that relationship. Please continue, Katie.
You know, John Jansen always said, I really enjoyed that Tiger Woods. He really seems to have figured it out. I'd love... especially his relationship with his ex-wife. So I guess in retrospect, that would be a red flag. A big old red flag.
So Katie's like, I try to golf. My husband plays golf like every day. It's our whole life. I mean, if you come to our house, all the artwork is... Jen goes, wait a minute. I know this one. Is it all golf?
It's all golf.
Oh, I knew
Because
it.
that's how we met.
Oh, gosh. How many years have you guys been married?
We just celebrated 7 in
7
October.
years.
So
Oh, 7 years. Wow,
Yeah.
that is amazing. 7 years. How many times have you been evicted?
so far none, and we're hoping that we're on par for none in the future.
Did you say bar? Yes, let's go.
You know what? My husband's amazing. He was a travel reporter for the Golf Channel, and I was a travel reporter for a different golf network. And you know what they say when you bring 2 reporters from rival golf networks together? The chemistry is allegedly something that exists somewhere.
So she's like, yeah, I went into journalism because since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a weather girl. Then I was like, that's too scary. So I went into a sports. I mean, girl, you went into sports journalism in a network that's not even the Golf Channel. I mean, have you been to Catan? Because you're basically a settler. I can't wait to meet your husband.
Well, my husband wants to give me lessons, and that will just end in divorce. God, we have so much to talk about every single day. Golf.
Well, I'm thinking I should take golf up as a single lady, as a single lady, as a single lady, as a single lady. Oh, golfing.
Oh, Shannon, but you don't have enough going on, right? Ha 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 ha. Thank you for your attempt at humor, Jen. I know just enough. And Kitty goes, well, I didn't want me meeting you for the first time to be so awful like that. And I'm sorry, but it's good that we get to hang out today. And I get to know you more because that was a lot for me. I'm not going to lie. I'm just a humble woman who absorbs herself in golf all day long. So to be around all that poached salmon, it was intense, very intense for me.
Like, yeah, you know, like going to my first party, you know, coming in as the green one. Anybody? And they're like, so, you know, was that your first time meeting Heather? And she goes, oh, I saw Heather at Sutton's Christmas party, and she turned and stared at me, and then she looked away. I was like, okay. But it was nice when she turned back around and asked me if I had any more tuna. I didn't really understand, but I mean, it was something. So
She really looked at me like I was the bogeyman. That was golf humor. Anyone? No? Okay. Tough crowd. Hey everyone, this is the end of part 1 of this recap. For part 2, keep an eye on your podcast feed. It is coming up in just a moment. Thanks so much for listening. Catch you on the second half. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. Ring that bell for Rachel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.